Hi, Pete Warden here from Next Level Wealth. I'm just down in beautiful New Farm this morning, just on the way to get some brekkie. Just thought record a quick video today on one of the age-old debates of investing, buy and hold versus timing the market. Now, you often find at this late stage in the cycle, you get more advocates for the idea of a buy and hold type investment, as central banks have kept interest rates low and it's extended the cycle. Because people start to think, well, heck, you need the patience of Job to wait for a correction, so why not just keep investing and let the market do what it does? And the returns actually over 10 or 20 years from Aussie stocks have been pretty healthy. Now, you always need to be a bit wary of people cherry picking dates, because 10 years ago was a low point for Aussie stocks, but 20 years ago not so much, still in the death throes of the tech bubble. And in fact, the returns have been very healthy over both 10 and 20 years. But of course, you can do better by investing more when markets are cheap. So it's more about knowing what your strategy is and being systematic and sticking to your strategy through the good times and the bad. From a property market perspective, I've got a general bias towards buying high quality assets and holding on to them for the long term in the capital cities. Ideally, if you can buy stuff with potential to add value to down the track as well, equity on ice as we call it, that's the best bang for your buck. But here are three things to think about from a property market point of view. Number one, and this is really the reason that buy and hold is popular, is the hockey stick effect of compound growth. So the returns in years 1, 2, 3 might not seem to be that impressive, but in years 10, 15 and 20, the compound growth seems to take on a life of its own, and that's the hockey stick effect in action. Second reason for the buy and hold approach in property is the transaction cost, because if you buy, sell, the stamp duty and the capital gains tax starts to really eat away at your returns. But the third consideration is that sometimes it does make sense to sell when there's an opportunity cost. So if the prospects aren't that great, or if the cash flow's hurting, or if you've bought a real dud, then it can make sense to sell. And especially if there is something better that you can be doing with that money. So if you need cash flow in your later years, or you can just find an asset with better growth prospects, then of course it can make sense to sell. And just one final thing to think about, particularly for self-employed people, is that sometimes if you sell a property asset, the banks may not be so keen to lend to you next time around, so you need to be clear on your financing strategy as well. So that's it for today. If you are particularly clear on your strategy and you want to know a bit more, check out my website below. It's gonextlevelwealth.com.au, and I think it must be about time to get over to Dickies and get a bit of breakfast. Cheers.